African-American domestic worker Abilene Clark, the narrator, works for socialite Elizabeth Leafolt in Jackson, Mississippi in 1963. May Mobley, Elizabeth's 2-year-old daughter, is raised by her. Minnie Jackson, Abilene's closest friend, works for Mrs. Walters and her cunning daughter Hilly Holbrook, who is in charge of the Women's Socialite organization. Eugenia Skeeter Phelan, a common friend of Elizabeth and Hilly, is an unmarried aspiring writer who recently graduated from Ole Miss and has been turned down by Harper & Row NYC editor Elaine Stein. After landing a position in the area writing a housekeeping column, she observes the institutionalized racism and cruel treatment of maids in the city. Hilly wants the installation of separate bathrooms codified in the construction code. Skeeter is not convinced by his mother Charlotte's claim that the family maid Constantine resigned. To reveal the maid's experiences, she makes the decision to compile a book of interviews with them. Hilly fires Minnie shortly afterward for defiantly utilizing an indoor restroom during a tornado. By circulating the falsehood that Minnie stole from her, Hilly retaliates, making Minnie unhireable and forcing her teenage daughter to drop out of school in order to work. A pregnant housewife shunned by the socialites, Celia Rayfoot is looking for a maid because her Madison home is large and she is not a good chef. Without alerting her husband Johnny, Hilly's previous romantic partner, she kindly hires Minnie. After experiencing a miscarriage, Celia discloses that she got married in a hasty manner and later miscarried. They talk on Hilly's jealousy of Celia regarding Johnny. Celia takes care of the black eye that Minnie's spouse gave her. After attending an engaging lecture, Abilene and Minnie agreed to an interview with Skeeter. Elaine Stein informs Skeeter that she needs a lot more maids' experiences for the book, but that no one is willing to come forward because they are afraid of being punished. Abilene informs Skeeter of her only son's untimely death, which resulted from an accident at work caused by his careless foreman. Skeeter submits an embarrassing mistake in place of a slow-walking article on the separate but equal bathrooms for Hilly in the Junior League newsletter. Yule May Davis, Hilly's new maid, needs $75 to send both of her twins to Tougaloo College, but she won't give it to her. Yule May is forcibly detained after Hilly reports her for pawning a missing ring she discovered hidden behind a sofa. More maids are sharing their testimonies as a result of this occurrence and the assassination of Medgar Evers. In an attempt to provide insurance, Minnie shares the terrible awful to Skeeter, Abilene, and herself as they worry about the maid's privacy. Following her dismissal, Minnie delivered Hilly her renowned chocolate pie, only to confess that she had baked her own poo into it once Hilly had eaten 2 slices. When her mother laughs about it, Hilly decides to send her to a nursing home. Charlotte is confronted by Skeeter on Constantine's leaving. She acknowledges that she dismissed Constantine during a Daughters of America dinner at her house because Rachel, her daughter, wouldn't go through the kitchen. After that, Rachel took her distraught mother to Chicago, where she passed away. Skeeter gets upset, starts crying, and bolts. Both the black and white populations in Jackson read the help avidly when it was published anonymously. Skeeter divides the earnings with the maids, giving them each an amount equal to several weeks' salary, and promises them more to come. Stuart, Skeeter's boyfriend, ends their relationship after learning she authored it. Minnie calls Celia 2 Slice Hilly as she gently delivers the terrible awful to her. Fearful that Skeeter would sue her for libel, Hilly backs down when she knows that doing so would require her to acknowledge the pie narrative in public. After Hilly is told to leave the property by Charlotte, the mother and daughter make up. In order to help Minnie and her kids leave her violent husband, Johnny informs her that he is aware that she has been working from their home and makes a permanent employment guarantee. Abilene's leadership in the publication is recognized by her congregation. Skeeter is persuaded to accept a job offer from NYC by Minnie and Abilene. Hilly demands that Elizabeth terminate Abilene as retaliation, saying that she had stolen silverware. Elizabeth dismisses her after she stands up for herself and Hilly runs out in tears. Abilene asks Elizabeth to love her kid, who cries too, as she says goodbye to May, who is screaming for her. She makes the decision to give up household chores in order to pursue her dream of becoming a writer while she is leaving.